Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. Today, we are going to be bringing you the Milwaukee Brewers at the Texas Rangers. It is the final game of a three-game set between these clubs, and the Brewers are set to almost get swept here as the Rangers are looking to complete the sweep today, but they are going to be running into one of the toughest pitchers in baseball as the Brew Crew will send Freddie Peralta to the mound in an effort to try to stop the bleeding against the Rangers. Well, for the Brewers, it's been a magical season to this point, as they are currently the top team in all of professional baseball. The Brewers are leading the National League Central Division, and for all intents and purposes, with a lead of about 5 games and change over the Toronto Blue Jays, and another 4 games and change over the Philadelphia Phillies, the chances are starting to look like they're going to lock up that top spot in all of baseball. Well, for the Texas Rangers, they're battling for their playoff lives. Right now, they're a game and a half out of the wild card against the Seattle Mariners, or versus the Mariners. The Mariners are holding on or clinging to that last spot. Both teams are divisional rivals. The Houston Astros are sitting atop, or perched atop, the American League West with a 78-67 record, but they have been stumbling as of late. The Mariners are closing the ground as they are a game behind. And the Texas Rangers are 2.5 back of Houston. So anything can happen here in the last 2 weeks and change of the season. And if the Rangers can get on a roll as they've been doing, they might be able to sneak in at the back end. And they've been doing it in a way that is a bit strange. They don't have Corey Seager. He is gone, I believe, for the rest of the regular season. He had an appendectomy. Marcus Semien is out. Adolis Garcia is out. So some of the big guns in their order are missing, and they're still able to find ways to get themselves wins. Well, we're going to give you the starting lineup. First of all, for the visitors from Milwaukee, leading off today and playing second base is number 2, Bryce Terang. Hitting second and left field is number 11, Jackson Churio. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting is number 22, Christian Yelich. In the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 9, Jake Bowers. Batting fifth and right field is number 10, Sal Frelick. Hitting in the 6th spot and playing third base is number 21, Caleb Durbin. Batting in the 7th spot and in center field is number 16, Blake Perkins. Hitting 8th and doing the catching is the veteran number 33, Danny Jansen. And batting 9th at shortstop is number 3, Joey Ortiz. And they are going to be facing Merrill Kelly, who came over in a late acquisition, late trade with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Kelly is taking an 11-7 record to the hill. He's worked 171 innings this year, 131 hits allowed, 67 runs, 60 of those have been earned, walking 47 and striking out 146, all while pitching to an ERA of 3.16. Well, Kelly, who's taking to the hill, he'll be backed up behind the Rangers. We'll give it their offensive lineup and their positions here for this afternoon's game. It'll be Josh Smith leading off and playing shortstop. He wears number 8. Batting second in left field is number 36, Wyatt Langford. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting is number 4, Jock Peterson. Batting in the cleanup spot at first base is number 21, Jake Berger. Batting fifth at third base is number 6, Josh Young. Batting in the 6th spot and doing the catching is number 11, Kyle Higashioka. Batting 7th in right field is number 19, Alejandro Osuna. Batting 8th at second base is number 39, Cody Freeman. And batting 9th in center field is number 24, Michael Hellman. And they are going to be facing Freddie Peralta, arguably the best pitcher in all of baseball, unless you're in the Paul Skeens camp. Peralta has been sparkling this year for the Brewers. He is 16-5. He has worked 158 2/3 innings, allowed 109 hits, 45 runs, 44 been earned, walking 61 and striking out 176 while pitching to a 2.50 ERA. Peralta versus Kelly when we come back in just a couple of moments. It is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. First pitch is just around the corner right after this timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. First pitch is just around the corner as Merrill Kelly is just completing his tune-up tosses. It'll be Bryce Terang, Jackson Churio, and Christian Yelich come to bat here in the first inning for the Brewers against the Rangers. And Merrill Kelly, in his 7 starts since the trade from Arizona, has been sparkling. He's kept opponents down to a 2.09 batting average through 42 and a third innings. Kelly certainly has given them a shot. The arm has been the Rangers with the loss of Nathan Eovaldi for the year, as he is a veteran presence who is able to take care of business on the hill. He also, in those starts, he has worked 42 and a third innings. His ERA is a little bit better than where it was from when he was with Arizona. He's pitched at a 2.98 clip. And as well, not only allowing batting average to the opponents at 2.09, his whip has been below 1. And that is keeping runners off the base. Over to Freddie Peralta for a moment. We were looking at Peralta's numbers. This is going to be the 3rd consecutive year that he has made 30 or more starts. And Peralta, there was a lot of talk last year that they felt it was going to be a breakout year. There were people and pundits that were feeling that before the 2024 season, he would be in contention for a Cy Young Award. Well, they might have missed that by 1 year, because he's taking that 16-5 record to the hill here in this one. And I'd have to think that if he can put together a few more good starts between now and the end of the season, we know the talk around Major League Baseball is Paul Skeens, but he is the best pitcher on the best team in baseball, and that has to be considered for a potential Cy Young Award. So Terang, Churio, and Yelich are coming to bat here as Kelly is just completing his tune-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get this one underway in just a couple of moments. There is other games around Major League Baseball today, but a lot of those games are not going to go off until later on. This is the first one that is out of the chute here today. In a couple hours' time, about 3 hours' time, it'll be Red Sox, Athletics, D-backs, and Giants. And then they'll be followed by the Twins, Angels, and that will go off at about 4 o'clock Pacific time. And so the rest of the games are all much later starts, but a full slate of baseball across the MLB today. Kelly has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are just about ready to get this one underway. Looking at the team ERAs for both of these clubs, Rangers and Brewers, tops in all of baseball. Both of these clubs here, I would expect a quick and efficient ball game here today. We were talking about the other 2 games in the series, as the Rangers are looking to complete the sweep of the Brewers. In yesterday's affair, the Rangers knocked off the Brewers 5-4. Milner picked up the win. Ashby took the loss in that one. And on Monday, Brewers also fell to the Rangers. Well, here we go as right-hander Kelly delivers a first-pitch fastball at the knees for a called strike, and we are underway in Arlington. So no balls, 1 strike to Terang. Terang batting .288 on the year, 17 homers and 73 runs batted in. Hitting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Kelly, who kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I have to really tip my hat to the manager, Pat Murphy, as he has been able to bleed a lot out of this group. They are a scrappy team, are the Brewers. They are fight and claw right to the death. There was a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the track and looking up, and it is going to be gone. A home run for Bryce Terang to start the ball game, and the Brewers have jumped out in front to a 1-0 lead. So too good a pitch at 0-2 to Terang. Left the pitch over the plate, did Kelly, and he made no mistake. He hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark, as the center fielder and the right fielder, both Hellman and Osuna, got together to watch that one sail out just to the right of the batter's eye. So 1-0 lead here for the Brewers. And that is going to bring Jackson Churio to the plate. And the first offering to Churio is a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Churio hitting .279 on the year, 19 homers and 71 runs driven in. Bats from the right side against the right-handed throwing Kelly. As Kelly rocks himself into the motion and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. Merrill Kelly is an interesting story, to say the least, as he had really reinvented himself when he was over in the KBO. He went overseas, a chance to be able to pitch, and we often say that sometimes players learn how to pitch when they go over to Asia, as that fastball misses outside. Count goes to 1-2. When he came back to the Diamondbacks organization, he really established himself as a starter in their organization, as that fastball misses down and away. And the count now goes to 2-2 to Churio. Right-hander Kelly rocks into the motion and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined, and it's over the head of the left fielder, right into the left field seats. And back-to-back home runs to start the ball game for the Brewers have them out to a 2-0 lead. So back-to-back gopher balls delivered by Kelly. And the Brewers are playing home run derby down in Texas. The Rangers, if their fans are still arriving to the stadium, they're going to look up and wonder what hit them. It is now a 2-0 lead here for the Brew Crew. That is the 20th homer of the year for Jackson Churio. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Christian Yelich. Well, for Yelich on the season, he's batting .269, 27 homers to go with 93 runs driven in. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted into deep center field, but making an over-shoulder catch on the warning track is the center fielder, Michael Hellman, as he's going to haul that one in. But 3 loud hits here by the Brewers to start the ball game. And that is going to bring up the first baseman in Jake Bauers. Well, they used every inch of the ballpark that time to keep that one in the yard. But no mysteries here from Merrill Kelly, as he's delivering some pitches that the Brewers almost know like what it's coming. So 2-0 Brewer lead here. 1 gone in the first, and Kelly ready to go back to work as he faces Jake Bauers. The first pitch to Bauers is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Bauers hitting .224 on the year with 7 homers and 26 runs driven in, making his 73rd appearance in the Brewers lineup. As Kelly kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on, chopped over to the right side. It's going to be fielded by the first baseman, Berger, who underhand flips it to Kelly covering. It's going to go into the books as a ground out, 3-1 for the second out of the inning. Good play there by Berger, good decision-making, having to come to the ball. The ball got by Kelly, and he was able to get to the bag. It wasn't the best of tosses by Berger. In fact, the ball was almost a little bit behind as Kelly had to reach back to get it. But able to make the play for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to Sal Frelick. Well, for Frelick, he's hitting .295 on the year. He's got 10 homers and 54 runs driven in. As the right-hander Kelly rocks into the windup and delivers a slow breaking ball that comes in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Frelick batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Kelly, who rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul over on the first base side. Count goes to 0-2. Defensively today for the Rangers, from left to right field, it is Langford in left. The center fielder's Hellman. It's Osuna in right. Around the horn from first to third, Berger's at first. The second baseman's Freeman with Smith at short and Young at third. The battery is of Kelly and Higashioka. As that fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Frelick. Frelick standing in as Kelly ready to go again as he rocks himself into the windup. The 1-2 on the way. Fastball taken for a called third strike. Frelick stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3. And that is going to do it for the Brew Crew here in the first inning. But they get on the board with back-to-back home runs from Turang and Churio. 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. The Brewers at 2, the Rangers coming to bat. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action. Thanks for joining us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few. Be sure to check out our friend Steve Rademacher. He'll be in and out throughout the game, and this is his infomercial as he has a channel on YouTube. Check him out after the game when you get a chance.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everyone. Our good friend Steve Rademacher is our resident Milwaukee Brewer fan. Although we are calling the game, we are neither partial to either one of these teams. It is the Brewers and the Rangers, as Freddie Peralta is ready to face Josh Smith to get things going in the bottom of the first. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and in for ball one. Count is 1-0. Smith, Langford, and Peterson to come to bat here against Peralta in the bottom of the first, as the Rangers are trailing already 2-0. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count runs even to 1-1. Smith batting .259 on the year, 9 homers and 33 runs batted in. Getting the start at shortstop, as we mentioned, Corey Seager looks like he is done for at least the regular season. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the third base line. Count goes to 1-2. Smith taps both sides of the plate. Good opportunity for some of these young Rangers. And, of course, for Bruce Bochy, giving them an opportunity to be able to battle for playoff position potentially. They are 6 games above 500, the Rangers, as that breaking ball was tapped foul. Count remains at 1-2 to Smith. Rare matinee game for us here, as for those of you who do listen to our channel, we like calling the Japanese games late at night. We're going to try to squeeze some MLB day games in throughout the month of September leading into the playoffs. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's now even to 2-2 on Smith. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we set a bit of a makeshift lineup, not only with Seager out, Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia, 3 big offensive bats, not missing from the lineup. And there's a fastball that misses outside. It's now 3-2 to Smith. But yet, with all that happening, the Rangers have still been able to got themselves in a position for a playoff push. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped up on the infield. Underneath it is Peralta, but now he's been called off by the shortstop Ortiz, as all of the Brewers have converged on it, and that is going to retire Smith for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the left fielder in Wyatt Langford. Well, for Langford, he's hitting .245 on the year. He's got 21 homers and 60 runs driven in. Batting from the right side here against the right-hander Peralta, who kicks and delivers. There is a cutter that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Defensively today for the Brew Crew, from left to right, it's Churio in left, Perkins in center, Frelick is in right. As Peralta delivers another breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0. Around the horn from first to third, Bowers is at first. The second baseman today is Terang, with Ortiz at short and Durbin at third. And the battery is of Peralta and Danny Jansen. Here's the 2-0. Fastball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-0 on Peralta. Or 3-0 on Langford from Peralta, I should say. And Peralta ready to go again. He works quickly as the clock really pushes the pitchers. There's a fastball center cut for a called strike. It's now 3-1 to Langford. Pitch clock has forced the pitchers, but some of the pitchers even work a little bit quicker than where it is. Often, Peralta usually has 4 or 5 ticks left on the clock. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Langford. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Get a look at the replay on that. I'm not sure if he actually swung or if it was actually the called strike that got. He did try to hold up and check his swing. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. And Langford watched that one go by for out number 2 here in the inning, as strike 3 has been called. And that'll bring up the designated hitter in Jock Peterson. Umpires for today's game behind the plate, it's the veteran Lance Barrett. Carlos Torres is at first, Charlie Ramos is at second, and Alfonso Marquez is working the third base line. So that is where it stands for the officiating crew. First pitch, breaking ball, gets over for a called strike, and the count's 0-1 to Jock Peterson. Peterson hitting below the Mendoza line, batting 177 on the year. He's got 14 homers and 46 runs driven in. As the pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count now goes to 0-2. I just got to double check my Peterson stats. That's what it shows on me, but it also shows that's the same numbers for the next hitter in Berger. So there might have been a cross up on my sheet. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2 on Peterson. Peterson batting from the left side. Waiting for the pitch here from Peralta. As Peralta holds it at the belt, and the 1-2 on the way. Slow breaking ball misses into the right-handed batter's box, and the count now goes to 2-2. Had to check the home runs and the RBIs and everything for Peterson. He's actually got 8 homers and 21 RBIs. So you miss up on our game sheet with a couple of stolen bases to boot. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Peralta has struck out Peterson for the third out of the inning. Well, the Rangers go quietly in their half of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Peralta strikes out 2 of the 3 men he faces. We are through 1 complete. Your score is the Brewers 2 and the Rangers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Our friend Steve Rademacher making an appearance a little bit late, or I should say casually late, but we'll be right back after this timeout. And right on cue, our friend Steve Rademacher has joined us, and we'll be right back after his entertaining timeouts.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the second inning, and coming to bat for the Brew Crew will be Caleb Durbin, and then Blake Perkins and Danny Jansen to face Merrill Kelly. Served up a couple of bombs in the first inning. The first pitch on the way to the third baseman of the Brewers is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. Durbin enjoying a nice year. Very interesting. He's only 5'7". At least that's what they list him as. When you think of the shortest players in the MLB, Jose Altuve comes to mind. And Durbin right there with him in the stature, but he is punching above his weight for sure. As there's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count runs even to 1-1. There have been double-digit home runs and double-digit stolen bases, as there's a fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 1-2. We'll look to call some more day games throughout the next little bit. As we said, between now and the end of the season, when Major League Baseball has it, we'll be adding some more. So look for a couple of more games this week as well, as there is a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count now goes to 2-2 on Durbin. But again, the Japanese is our bread and butter, and will be late night on Saturday night. So if you get a chance to come by, also look to add one in on Friday as well. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded foul down the third base side. Counts now 2-2 to Durbin. Kelly gets a new baseball as he rubs it up. Kelly 15 pitches in the first inning, and he was all around the strike zone. But in saying that, with a couple of pitches, too good with 2 strikes. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded on 1 hop right back to the pitcher, Kelly. He throws to first, and Durbin's in the books on a ground out 1-3 for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the center fielder in Blake Perkins. Well, for Perkins, he's batting .218 on the year. He's got 3 homers and 14 runs driven in. Getting the start in center field today. As we said, the Brewers looking to salvage a game in this 3-game set. As the right-hander Kelly kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Not in the lineup today, Andrew Vaughn nor Rhys Hoskins. Generally, the first baseman, Isaac Collins, also gets the day off today. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's chopped foul right into the feet of Perkins, and the count now goes to 0-2. As we had mentioned at the top of the stream, the Rangers fighting for their playoff lives, battling it out for that final playoff spot, finding themselves 2.5 behind the Astros for the West lead, a 1.5 behind the Seattle Mariners for a potential wild card position. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. Perkins gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to the catcher and Danny Jansen. Well, for Jansen, he's hitting .201 on the year. He's got 11 homers and 32 runs driven in. Jansen began his career in the Toronto Blue Jay organization, and then he's been keeping his suitcases handy as he's been bouncing around the last couple of years. He was ended up being dealt from the Blue Jays. He ended up in a Boston Red Sox uniform, and then he signed as a free agent with Tampa. Tampa shipped him off to Milwaukee midway through the year. There's a fastball that comes inside and almost hits Jansen. Count runs even at 1-1. One of the unique things about Jansen is he's one of the few players that chooses not to wear batting gloves in Major League Baseball. Kyle Tucker used to be in that camp, but he has been using gloves more recently in the last year or so. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Jansen. Trying to think in my mind across Major League Baseball these days, who else doesn't wear them? I know Luis Guillorme. He's been in and out of the top level of the game last year or so. He's one of those ones that chooses not to wear the gloves. Pitch on the way. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Jansen's in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Brewers in the top of inning number 2. They go quietly with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 1.5. It is the Rangers trailing the Brewers 2-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the 2nd inning when we return right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this. Two nothing. The Brewers have the lead over the Rangers as we move to the bottom of the 2nd inning. We'll be right back in just a few after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It'll be the heart of the order to come to bat for the Rangers in the bottom half of inning number 2. That means Jake Burger, Josh Young, and Kyle Higashioka to face the right-hander Freddie Peralta. Peralta pretty tough in his first inning of work, striking out 2 of the 3 batters that he faced. Only 18 pitches for the Brewer right-hander as he kicks and delivers. And the first pitch is a fastball that's fouled away down the third baseline. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Burger. Burger hitting .242 on the year with 14 homers and 46 runs driven in. Batting from the right side against the righty Peralta, who kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball that has swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Burger. Burger making his 92nd appearance of the year. Interesting fact about Burger, he had a daughter that was born with Down syndrome, and he changed his number to 21 in the honor of her in the offseason. And that was more along the lines as that pitch is a cutter that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. I believe it has to do with the chromosomes, and I don't know exactly the science behind it, but certainly 21 is the indicator with the Down syndrome. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Burger. Burger in his first year in a Texas uniform. Waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Peralta, who holds at the belt, kicks and fires. It's a fastball swung on, is lifted into straightaway center field. Going back onto the warning track, looking up, and this one's going to be off the batter's eye. A home run for Burger to start the bottom of the second inning. And he's cut the lead here for the Rangers to 2-1. So the gopher ball has been on display here. All of the runs, solo shots in this one. Burger going yard to straightaway center field. It's now a 2-1 lead for the Milwaukee Ball Club. So high fives all the way around. So if you enjoy the fireworks of the home runs, you're in the right spot. If you're not a big fan of the home runs and you'd like to see some more small ball or station-to-station ball, well, I guess you're not in the right place here today, the way this game was started. So the first pitch coming to Josh Young is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Young on the season hitting .253 with 13 homers and 54 runs batted in. As the pitcher Peralta kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and he jammed him up as he fouls that one off over on the first base side. The count goes to 1-1 on Young. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Pretty much the only game in town right now, as these two clubs are the only ones going at it. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Count goes to 1-2. I have to say, both the pitchers today have been benefiting from a very liberal low strike zone from Lance Barrett. As long as he's doing it for both groups, I guess you're going to have to get used to it. But that for Freddie Peralta and for Merrill Kelly, they're already tough. They're going to make them tougher. There's a cutter that's taken for a called third strike. Young stood there like the house by the side of the road. He didn't like the call, but he's going to be gone for out number 1 here, and that'll bring up the catcher and Kyle Higashioka. Well, for Higashioka, he's hitting .247 on the year. He's got 10 homers and 46 runs batted in. He was not behind the plate last night as Jonah Heim was doing the duty. As the right-hander Peralta delivers a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. Higashioka did have an at-bat in last night's game. He got an opportunity to get in there late. There is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Peralta ready to go again, getting the sign from Jansen, works himself to the belt. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Higashioka. Right-hander again kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball, waved at and missed. So back-to-back strikeouts here recorded by Peralta. It's his 4th on the ball game. 2 in the books here. It's going to leave it all up to the right fielder and Alejandro Osuna. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we were talking about calling some games during the week. And we were also looking at maybe some of the matchups, but it looks like we probably are leaning toward the Pirates and the Orioles tomorrow. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So if you're at work or you got nothing else to do, other than to listen to us give you some baseball, make sure you bookmark the channel and stop in for some more. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses up and in, backs Osuna off the plate. The count now goes even to 1-1. Osuna hitting a .184 on the year, homer and 8 RBIs. Standing in on the left side here against Peralta, who kicks and fires. There is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. Count is now 1-2 to Osuna. And looking at even further ahead to Friday, we are leaning towards the Rays and the Cubs as a possibility to do that one as well. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander Peralta holds set again. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball missing upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Osuna waggling the bat as the right-hander Peralta works himself to the set. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. Count goes full to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're looking at the Rangers overall and just some of the names and some of the bodies that are on their injured list. There's a fastball swung on it as pop foul. It's going to reach the seats. And the count remains full to Osuna. We'll go through it more in depth in the next inning, but when you look at the pitching staff, you've got 7 pitchers that are either on the injured list and gone for the year, but certainly on the injured list. There's a fastball swung on it, is chopped softly over to first, fielded neatly by Bowers. He's going to flip it to the pitcher, Peralta, covering, and that's going to retire Osuna on a ground out 3-1 for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Rangers in their half of the 2nd. Well, they get a leadoff home run off the bat of Jake Berger. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 2 complete innings. Your score is the Brewers 2 and the Rangers 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. And Kiki Kane says, I'm enjoying this broadcast, and we're enjoying the fact that you're listening in with us here as well. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher again to keep you entertained.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. Joey Ortiz coming to the plate to face Merrill Kelly. He found himself in a hole at no balls and a strike, and then he grounds a single into left center field for a base hit. So Ortiz is aboard to start out the ballgame. It's the first time we've had a base runner reach bases outside of home runs. So Ortiz aboard with a leadoff single, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Bryce Turang. Well, for Turang, he got the party started in the top of the first inning. He had a leadoff home run off of Kelly. He had a 0-2 pitch that he drove into straightaway center field. As the first offering coming from the right-hander is a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is quickly 0-1. Turang with that home run in the first inning. It gave him his 18th of the year, go along with 74 runs batted in. It's a very upright stance does Turang as the right-handed Kelly delivers a breaking ball that misses down in the dirt. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the third inning, Brewers and Rangers battling it out in the final game of this 3-game series as the right-hander Kelly works himself set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's chopped over to second. They go to second for 1. Back to first. It's not going to be in time to get the speedy Turang. It'll be a fielder's choice as it is Ortiz who is going to be gone for the first out of the inning, 4-6. Turang will reach first safely, and that'll bring up the left fielder in Jackson Churio. It's a tough play there for the second baseman, Cody Freeman. He had to come in and attack the ball. He did a pretty good jump pivot to deliver a good ball to Josh Smith, but unable to turn the double play on the back end. First pitch fastball delivered to Churio, misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. Churio homered his first time up, delivering his 20th home run of the year. He's raised his average to north of 280. He's now hitting 281 as Kelly fires over to first base, and getting back in time is the base runner Turang. Got to keep your eye on Turang. He can run a little bit. Again, Kelly working himself to the set position. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Turang. Churio taps both sides of the plate. Has a very wide stance. He stands at the back of the plate, but he's got himself widened out. 2-0 on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped over to short. The only play is going to be to first, as that is going to retire Churio. That's a ground out 6-3. Advancing to second is Turang. He moves into scoring position on the chopper to short. And that'll bring up the designated hitter in Christian Yelich. Good decision by Smith there. The ball was pounded into the ground, and by the time it came down, recognized he had no chance to get the speedy Turang over at second. The only play was to retire Churio. So good decision-making by the Rangers shortstop. There's a changeup that is waved at and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yelich. Yelich 0 for 1 today. He flew out to center field his first time up. Hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. It would have been back-to-back-to-back jacks had that one been able to leave the yard. As the right-hander Kelly delivers, it's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count now runs even to 1-1 on Yelich. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yelich hitting from the left side here against the right-hander Kelly. Kelly checks the runner at second, and now he delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. We're talking a little bit about Kelly at the opener. He was originally drafted by the Orioles out of high school in the 37th round. He ended up going to Yavapai College. He was redrafted by the Indians in the 22nd round of the 09 draft, and then after his tour at Arizona State University, he was taken in the 8th round by the Rays. As he steps off the backside of the rubber, goes to the rosin bag, and we'll do this all over again. But after his tour in the Tampa organization, he took his act in 2015 to the KBO. There is a changeup swung on and missed, and Yelich is down on strikes. He's out for the third out of the inning. And that's going to do it here for the Brewers in their half of the third. They had no runs in the inning. They did have a hit. There was no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the third inning. I'll carry on with my Merrill Kelly stories after this. It is a 2-1 ball game, but we'll be back in just a bit. Bottom of the third, just around the corner. It is the Rangers and the Brewers when we return in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit for the bottom of the third inning after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and it is the Brewers and the Rangers 2-1 as we're cruising to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the bottom two in the batting order to get things going in Cody Freeman and Michael Hellman. And then the top of the order, Josh Smith, to come to bat here in inning number 3. So the Rangers and the Brewers locked in a battle here, 1-run ball game. As we said, the Brewers looking to break or salvage a win in the series, as the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Freeman. Freeman hitting .203 on the season, a couple of homers and 8 RBIs. Getting the nod at second base as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and pop foul into the seats just behind home plate. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. This is only Freeman's 22nd appearance in a Rangers uniform. We were talking about the injured list of the Rangers in a couple innings ago. I'm saying just the number of players, the number of important players or impact players out of their lineup. Breaking ball misses down. The count is 1-2. And we talked about the absence of Corey Seager, also Marcus Semien on the injured list. But Evan Carter and Adolis Garcia. So you take 4 big-time bats out of the lineup. That's why I said it's a bit amazing what they are doing. As there is a fastball swung on and missed, and Freeman's in the books. That's strikeout number 5 recorded by Peralta in this one. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Michael Hellman. Also on the injured list offensively is Sam Haggerty, the former Seattle Mariner. And he is more of a role player, but certainly the 4 players that we mentioned, that is big-time impact. On the pitching side, John Gray, Tyler Mahle, and the always important Nathan Eovaldi. All 3 of those players done for the year. There are others as well, including reliever Corey Bradford, Danny Colomb, Josh Spores, a number of others as well. So what the Rangers are doing this year, you got to tip your hat to Bruce Bochy and the depth of this club. There's a first pitch fastball that misses down. Looks like I'd missed a pitch earlier. There's another pitch that misses down. It's now 2-1 unless I was caught napping somewhere. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Hellman. Be followed by the leadoff hitter, Josh Smith. So right-hander against the right-hander. Peralta ready to go again. As he kicks and fires, it's a fastball swung on. It is lined past the diving third baseman, Durbin, into left field. And that is going to be a base hit for Hellman. That's only the second hit of the game by the Rangers. They've got themselves a base runner. It'll bring up the top of the order in Josh Smith. And our friend Gracie Lynn in the house here today, she says it's been too long. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you go overseas for a little bit and you start to enjoy the finer life of Taiwan. That is for sure. Here's the pitch from Peralta. It was a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. I did the Japanese game the other night, and I have to say, we've been playing around on these games for the last few years. It had to be the worst game I think I've ever done. I was feeling the effects of jet lag by about the 5th inning. My chair was squeaking. My head was ready to fall off. It was incredible. But we got ourselves all turned around, and hopefully we can make some good calls between now and the end of the season. As Peralta had thrown over to first base. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball. This is bunted down the third baseline. It's a good one, but a nice job by Durbin as they're going to let that one roll foul. It's going to run the count even to 1 ball and 1 strike on Smith. Our friend Gracie Lynn says the Rangers trainers need to be investigated. It's an annual occurrence with Texas. Extremely abnormally long injured list. And those are facts. It was a pretty good bunt, just the way that the grass was. It was well played there by Durbin. Had a lot of English on it as it took a left turn to go foul. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Smith as the right-hander Peralta ready to go again. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away. Count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander again works himself to the belt, kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 3-1. Got an opportunity to see 3 games in Taiwan. It's very interesting stadiums, that's for certain. They have 6 teams in the Taiwanese league, and they play a neutral site at the Taipei Dome, which a lot of the teams come in. There's a fastball that misses up and away. The throw down to second, is it going to be in time? Or no, it's going to be ball 4. That is going to be a walk, so that doesn't really much matter. So ball 4 issued to Josh Smith. He is aboard. Michael Hellman, he reaches second base safely, and that's going to bring up the left fielder and Wyatt Langford. So the Rangers have something brewing here. The bottom half of inning number 3, as they've got runners at first and second with 1 gone, and Langford coming to the plate. For Langford, he's batting .245 on the year. He entered the game hitting .245, 21 homers and 60 RBIs. As the right-hander Peralta delivers, the first pitch breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Getting into a very dangerous part of the Rangers lineup with ducks on the pond. Langford waggling the bat as Peralta checks the runner over at second. Kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Langford. Now you got to think that the left fielder of the Rangers, his eyes are going to be lighting up here. Good hitters count. 2 balls and no strikes. Peralta works to the set, checks the runners, now fires. Fastball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count now goes to 2-1 on Langford. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Jock Peterson waiting his turn on deck. Runner at second is Hellman. Runner at first, Smith. 1 gone here in the 3rd inning. Fastball swung on, and this one's fouled into the stands down the left field line, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Langford. As we were talking a little bit about the injured list of the Rangers, and just the job that Bochy's been able to do to navigate this ball club this late into the season into a playoff push and a playoff position, you have to tip your hat to the Texas ball club for what they're doing. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Langford. And on the flip side, with the Brewers, their amazing season continues. They've lost a lot of pitching over the last couple of years. You think of Hauser and Corbin Burns and others, including their closer, Devin Williams, and they haven't skipped a beat. There's a fastball that just misses low, and it's going to be back-to-back walks. That's going to load the bases. As Peralta loses both of the last 2 hitters, that's going to be and bring up the designated hitter in Jock Peterson. It's also going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound on a slow saunter to have a couple of words with his starter Peralta. The pitching coach for the Brewers is Chris Hook. What a great name for a pitching coach. Your name is Hook, especially when they got to take somebody out of the ball game. There's nothing more than that. I think of names over the years. There was the pitcher for the Oakland Athletics. His name was Outman. That was one of the better pitching names. Of course, Bob Walk, one of the worst pitching names for the Pittsburgh Pirates back in the 80s and the 90s. But nothing like having your pitching coach named Hook. Well, that conference is over. Now it's going to bring Jock Peterson to the plate. Peterson 0 for 1 today. He struck out in his only appearance. But the Rangers are threatening here to do some damage in the bottom half of the third inning. Hellman at third, Smith at second, Langford the runner at first, and the first pitch is a fastball inside at the knees, taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Peterson. Peterson has 3 career grand slams to his name. Under the fray, hitting below 200 at 177 as he takes a fastball up and away, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander delivers again, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2 on Peterson. Gracie Lynn says that she really wishes the AL East wasn't so deep because she wants the Rangers and the Mariners to get in on the wild card. Well, I have to tell you, I don't know if I'm not convinced the Mariners are even going to get in. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2. We've seen some Mariner collapses in years past, and you got to wonder if this is going to be another one, especially if you're a Rangers fan. That's probably what you're hoping for. The Astros certainly have not been playing good ball lately. As the pitch from Peralta on the way, fastball misses upstairs. That's going to run the count full to Peterson. Well, there's nowhere to put him. They're going to have to pitch to him here, as bases are full of Rangers. And Jake Berger on deck, who's already homered in this one. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, grounded down the first baseline, just foul. That's going to bring everybody back to their respective bases, so it's still going to be 3-2 to Peterson. Our friend Gracie Lynn said, have you seen the Mets have been so bad lately that the Giants, Reds, Cardinals, and D-backs are all within 5.5 of the bottom wild card? Yeah, that's pretty crazy. The Giants, I was writing them off for dead a couple of weeks ago, and they're right back in the hunt. So here comes the 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, popped up, foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side of home plate. The count remains full to Peterson. I have to tell you, for somebody who is in the Cy Young conversation, Freddie Peralta here has really had to struggle today. He's already at 64 pitches here in the third inning. Let's see his day much lasting past 5. There's a ground ball hit to second. Oh, what a play on the backhand by Terang. Throws to second for 1. Back to first. It's not going to be in time. It's going to be a fielder's choice. I wonder if they're going to go have a look at this. Good job by Peterson hustling down the line as he's able to beat out the potential double play. Hellman in to score. And now we have ourselves a tie ball game. But I'm going to see if they're going to take a look at this on the replay. I don't think it's worth looking at. I don't think they're going to call it up. But Peterson just getting down the line at full tilt. He makes it in there safely. Yeah, it's not worth even taking a look or burning your challenge on. So fielder's choice, or I should say, yeah, it's going to be a fielder's choice erasing Langford. It's going to go 4-6. He's gone for the second out. And the first pitch delivered to Jake Berger is a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Peterson, the runner at first. Smith, the runner at third. 2 gone now here, and there's time has been called. Or has it been? No, it's been a balk called on Freddie Peralta. That's going to bring in the runner from third. He's been walking the line a little bit, has Peralta. He's not really been coming to a full set. Pat Murphy up on the top steps, but I don't think Murphy's got a whole lot to say. Well, as far as I'm concerned, that last balk, like he stepped off the back of the rubber and didn't disengage his hands. That's probably what that one was. There was a fastball swung on. It's popped up into foul territory. It's playable. Underneath it is the first baseman Bowers. He's going to make the catch, and that's going to do it for out number 3. But the Rangers get a pair of runs in the inning as they scored on 2 runs on the benefit of 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your score, as we're now through 3 complete, it is the Rangers 3 and the Brewers 2. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. It is the Brewers and the Rangers, top of the 4th, just around the corner. Third of the game is in the books, and we'll be right back after this timeout. We got ourselves a 1-run ball game. Now it's 3-2 for the Rangers as we move to the top of the 4th. Here is our good friend Matt.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everyone. It is going to be coming to bat for the Brewers in their half of the 4th. The heart of the order, Jake Bowers, Sal Frelick, and Caleb Durbin to face the right-hander Merrill Kelly, who we are right off the bat. And right out of the gate, I don't know what's going on in between innings here, but Jake Bowers is ready to come to bat. It looks like that there's already been a strike applied to Bauer. And now Pat Murphy has come out of the batter's box. So Lance Barrett, who's had a interesting day, he's had a very low zone, but it's been for both teams. He had the balk call in the last half inning, and now they've already applied a strike to Jake Bowers. Well, Murphy came out for the explanation, and he's been able to accept it. So without a pitch, Bowers is in the hole at 0-1. It looked like he took his sweet time to get up to the plate. And so now he is already in the hole at 0-1. As the right-hander Kelly kicks and delivers, there is a changeup that is swung through and missed, and now Bowers is in the hole at 0-2. So for somebody who doesn't get to play a whole lot, I'd like to think that Bowers is going to want to try to keep his name in the game here. As the 0-2 pitch is on the way, there is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. Friend Gracie Lynn said she bought some incredible peanuts in Myrtle Beach, cooked in Kentucky bourbon. That sounds actually pretty good. So here comes the 1-2 offering as Kelly gets the sign from his catcher Higashioka. He kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and chop foul over on the first base side. 1 ball and 2 strikes it remains. Only 39 pitches for Kelly through his 3 innings of work, far more economical than the right-handed starter of the Brewers and Freddie Peralta. As he rocks and fires, there's a fastball swung on it, is popped up into shallow left field. Moving back underneath it and making the catch is the third baseman Young. He was shifted over into the 6 hole. The shortstop Smith was almost right over top of second base. That's going to retire Bowers for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. It'll bring up the right fielder in Sal Frelick. Friend Gracie Lynn said she brought 4 bags of them. Yeah, that's pretty good. I can't say that I was eating peanuts when I was in Asia, that's for sure. Although I did have some on some of my ice cream, which was kind of interesting in a different way. Here comes the First offering from Kelly, squaring the bunt, but then pulling back is Frelick, and he takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Frelick today 0 for 1. He struck out looking his first time up. As the right-hander Kelly kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into deep left field. Moving back on the edge of the track and able to haul it in is the left fielder Wyatt Langford. And that's going to retire Frelick for the second out of the innings. So 2 gone here, and it'll leave it up to the third baseman and Caleb Durbin. So for our friend Gracie Lynn, who is a regular, it is a done deal. I'm going to be going back to Taiwan in December, only for a short stay, and on my way to Vietnam for about 3 weeks for holidays. So that'll be the off-season holidays over the Christmas period. So here comes the first offering from the right-hander. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Durbin today 0 for 1. He grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. Kelly's been absolutely outstanding today. Of the 15 batters he's faced, he's thrown 14 first-pitch strikes. That's incredible. Fastball just misses inside, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Top of the 4th inning, Brewers find themselves in a 3-2 deficit. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to get lined softly into right field. It gets down for a base hit, and Durbin's aboard with a 2-out single. That's going to bring up the center fielder in Blake Perkins. Well, for Perkins, he is 0 for 1 today. He struck out looking his first time up. Oh, you guys aren't getting any static. For whatever reason, I'm getting static at my end. I have to address that after the ball game is done. I think it is the connection, at least for my microphone, at least into my ear. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Durbin. Durbin can run a bit. He's got 15 swipes on the year. Keep your eye on him to try to get into scoring position. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Perkins. Perkins struck out looking his only time to the plate. As again, the right-hander fires over to first, and diving back in time is Durbin. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. We'll have to do a deep dive after the game. We were having a problem the other night when we were calling the Japanese game, and as I was saying before, we were in the chair that was squeaking. It was driving the audience nuts. It was driving me nuts. As there was a pitch that missed down, I thought we are going to have to get a viral moment and throw it off the balcony. 1 ball and 1 strike. Unfortunately, that chair is going to be retired. Nice chair, but a little bit long in the tooth. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitch on the way is a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Perkins. I'm trying to do a little off-season redesign and setup of the studio so that we can be a little bit more comfortable when we're calling these games. Might even do a pregame green screen. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This is going to be lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And making his way over to second base was the runner Durbin. He rounded the base and he fell down. Then he had to get back to second safely. So Perkins aboard with a single. Durbin stops at second. And now the Brewers have got something cooking here with 2 gone. It is going to bring up the catcher and Danny Jansen. That's exactly what it was. Well, he did fall down once he got past the bag at second base, but Josh Smith was able to deke Durbin. It looked like he was making it as if that there was going to be a play at second base, and Durbin went in there sliding at second. Of course, the ball was hit into left field, and then by the time he read it, he got up, and then he stumbled down and then had to scramble back to the bag at second. So runners at first and second here, 2 gone. Danny Jansen at the plate. He hits it, and it's a ground ball up the middle. It hits the bag at second, and it goes off of the shoulder of Cody Freeman. That should have been out number 3. But instead, it deflects off the bag, hits him in the shoulder, and now everybody is safe. I think they're going to rule that as a base hit. I'd like to see that again. Took a wicked hop off the corner of the bag, caught the second baseman right in the shoulder. And one would have to think that's going to be a hit for Jansen to load the bases. Stopping at third is Durbin. Perkins safe over at second. Yeah, it would be a cruel error if that was how it was done. First pitch fastball delivered to Joey Ortiz, taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Bases full of Brewers. Everything has gotten going here with 2 out. All singles off of Kelly. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to short, fielded by Smith. He goes to second for the easy out. It's going to retire Jansen on a fielder's choice, 6-4 for the third out of the inning. Brewers threaten, but they don't score. They leave the bases full. There was no runs in the inning. There were 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left the board. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is the Rangers 3 and the Brew Crew 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this timeout. It is 3-2 for the Rangers as we move to the bottom of the 4th. We'll be back in just a few after the musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Josh Young, Cal Higashioka, and Alejandro Osuna come to bat to face Freddie Peralta. And the first pitch fastball is swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Young. Young 0 for 1 today. He struck out looking his first time up. 67 pitches through the first 3 innings for Peralta. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Young waggling the bat here, waiting on the offering from the right-hander Peralta, who works himself to the belt. Kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that just misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. Some of the calls here that Barrett was giving to both pitchers in the first inning seem to have dried up a little bit. Some of those low strikes are not sticking around here for either Kelly or Peralta as we move to the middle frames. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count runs to 2-2 to Young. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Peralta ready to go back to work. Doesn't waste a whole lot of time. As we said, doesn't milk the clock all the way. Ground ball up the middle. Diving play to his left by Ortiz. He gets to his feet. He fires to first. Oh, what a play by Joey Ortiz. That's going to be a ground out 6-3 to put Young in the books for the first out of the inning. Showing some range there is the Brewers shortstop. Fantastic play. Really got to his feet quick and fired over to first. So Higashioka is going to come to the plate here with 1 gone. Good stretch over there by the first baseman Bowers as well. There's a first pitch breaking ball that just misses outside. Count is 1-0. Higashioka struck out his only time to the plate. 0 for 1 today. The right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung through and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. Got a good ball game here this afternoon between these two clubs. As time has been called, as Peralta steps off the backside. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Higashioka. Peralta has 5 strikeouts recorded in this one here. His counterpart, Merrill Kelly. As there is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. Kelly, by our account, has 4. All of the Brewer runs came on the first 2 batters of the game as they deposited home runs into the seats. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Higashioka, he's in the books for the second out of the inning, and that would be strikeout number 6 recorded by Peralta. That is going to bring up the right fielder in Alejandro Osuna. Well, for Osuna, he is 0 for 1 today. He grounded to the first baseman his first time up. Takes a first pitch fastball with the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike. Right-hander kicks and delivers again. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. It's going to reach the seats on the third base side of home plate, and the count goes now to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Peralta fires again. There's a slow breaking ball swung on. This is going to get golfed into right center field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. Good piece of hitting there by Osuna to stay on the ball. Shortened up his swing, and he's got himself a 2-out single. That's going to bring up the second baseman in Cody Freeman. You don't always see that sometimes from the hitters. They were able to cut down on their swing, but you have to tip your hat to Osuna to be able to get the ball in play. Pitch was probably too close to take. So Rangers have a runner at first. And the first pitch on the way to Freeman is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Freeman taps both sides of the plate, digs himself back in. Now he asks for time as he wasn't quite ready to face the pitch from the right-hander Freddie Peralta. So again, we're ready to go back to work. Here's Peralta delivering. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded past the third baseman into left field through the 6-hole. And Freeman's aboard with a base hit. And so again, here with 2 out, the Texas Rangers have got something brewing. Back-to-back singles off the bat of Osuna and Freeman. It's going to bring Michael Hellman to the plate. Well, for Hellman, he is 1 for 1. He scored the second run for the Rangers in this one, as he was brought home by Jock Peterson's RBI fielder's choice that he had grounded into. Here's the pitch from Peralta. It's a breaking ball missing outside, and the count is 1-0. Curious to see if they do bring Peralta back out for another inning. He's entering into that territory. I would think as the ace of the staff, you would have to believe he's coming out for another inning. Pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Counts 1 ball and 1 strike to Hellman, although in today's baseball, you never know. We saw a couple of Dodger no-hitters go sideways this week. One after taking Tyler Glasnow out after the 7th, and the other one 2 out in the 8th inning. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away as Yoshinobu Yamamoto took the loss in that one. I'm sure that probably brought a smile to our friend Gracie Lynn, who listens in. She's not a Dodger fan whatsoever. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as Hellman digs back in, and now he asks for time. Let's get the check, step back out. The art of calling time in some ways, or at least the gamesmanship of calling time, seems to have been lost in Major League Baseball. They now kind of apologize when they step out on the pitcher. I don't know if they want to get drilled or not. There's a fastball swung through and missed. Hellman's down on strikes. He's gone for the third out of the inning, so the threat here in the inning is squandered. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 4 complete. Your score is the Rangers 3, the Brewers 2. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the top of the 5th inning when we return after this from our good friend Steve.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs, we have pounds, we have Deutschmarks, we have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. Be sure to check out Steve Rademacher after the game for all your entertaining needs. We'll be right back in just a few after this. Certainly, we're not going to give you the countdown. We'll be right back after this one. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order to come to bat here to face Merrill Kelly in the 5th inning. And the first pitch delivered to Bryce Terang is taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Terang, Churio, and Yelich to face the right-hander here. 56 pitches through 4 innings for Kelly as there's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander Kelly ready to go back at it. As he rocks himself into the windup and he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle, backhanded by the second baseman, which was Freeman. He throws to first, and it's not going to be in time. I think Bruce Bochy is going to want to have a look at this one. We certainly want to have a look at that one, and it looks like they are going to have a replay here. It was a ground ball hit up the middle. He had to go to his backhand side. He threw the ball. It was one hop in the dirt. Oh, boy, maybe they're not going to need to have a look at this one. Bryce Terang, I do think, beat it out. No, and they're not going to have a look. It is going to be an infield single for Terang. So the speed of the second baseman wins out on that one. There's a first pitch breaking ball from Kelly taken for a called strike, and the count's 0-1 to Churio. Churio 1 for 2 today. He homered his first trot time up. He's also grounded to short. Gracie Lynn says Kelly out pitching Peralta, not on her bingo card today. There is a breaking ball swung on. It has popped up into left center field. Moving over underneath it with room to make the catch is the center fielder Hellman, and that is going to retire Churio for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone. It brings up the DH in Christian Yelich. That is for sure the ball game starting with back-to-back home runs. And then, of course, Freddie Peralta really struggling in the 3rd inning as he had thrown a number of pitches. He threw almost 30 pitches in the 3rd, giving up a couple of runs. Here comes the pitch from Kelly. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Yelich. As we said, it's been a very interesting zone. I'd like to see tomorrow what the ump scorecard will have to say about the home plate umpire Lance Barrett. Really low zone to begin the game. Tighten that up, and then that last breaking ball to Christian Yelich was a good solid couple inches outside the zone. And again, if you look at the K zone on television, it doesn't mean a whole lot, but you just have to watch. Certainly the up down, you can see a ton based on where the players are in terms of their height, how the ball is received by the catcher. Here comes the pitch from Kelly. There's a fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul down the left field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. So the ball's in 2 strikes. Yelich today 0 for 2, flew up the deep center field his first time up and struck out in the 3rd. Having himself an enjoyable season this year. The big knock, of course, with Yelich is his ability to stay healthy. What a great player that he's been for the Brewers. He'll probably more than likely retire a Brewer. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. In some ways, kind of disappointing that the Marlins couldn't hang on to that outfield of Stanton, Osuna, and Yelich. What a potent outfield that would be. The Marlins just seem to make all the wrong moves at the wrong times. Or maybe it's all the wrong moves at the right times for other teams. Fastball misses upstairs. There goes the runner, Terang, and he's going to get second base. He's going to steal second base without a throw. He had a heck of a jump. It didn't even, Higashi Oka couldn't even react. Stolen base for Terang. Count to Yelich is now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It's a changeup missing down and away, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brewers as a team have 153 stolen bases. They say it's the second most in all of baseball. I guess the trivia question to that would be who's got the most? Fastball swung on and fouled away. And I don't have an answer for you at the moment. I'd have to follow that one up. Thinking of some of the teams that can run a little bit. I'm sure Oakland, for some reason, if my memory serves me correct, they like to run a little bit, maybe more than they normally have in other years. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and Yelich is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Nice job by Kelly to walk the ladder as he's going to retire Yelich for the second out. It's going to leave it all up to the first baseman and Jake Bauers. Well, for Bauers, 0 for 2 today. He has popped to short and grounded to first. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. As we were talking about team statistics, with the Brewers second, it's the Tampa Bay Rays who lead all of baseball in stolen bases, and there it's not even close. Fastball misses upstairs. Count runs even to 1-1 on Bauers. Rays have got 178 stolen bases through 144 games. Brewers, this is game number 148. And they've got themselves 153 now. They're slightly ahead of the Cubs. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Bauers. Rounding out the top 5, the Mariners are next. And then it's the New York Mets. When you think about it, 178 stolen bases for the Tampa Bay Rays. And you go back in the days of Vince Coleman and Ricky Henderson when they were stealing north of 100 by themselves. I wonder what they would be thinking about that today. There's a fastball that just misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. The other end of the spectrum, the team with the least amount of stolen bases is the Detroit Tigers. They've got 58 on the year. And the San Francisco Giants are next. Interesting, the Tigers, I would have thought their team speed would have been a little bit better than that. Dead last. Fastball just misses down. The count now goes full to Bauers. Gracie Lynn says, how do you successfully steal 178 bases and still only be at 500? That's a great question. pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called third strike on the inside corner. Bauer's down on strikes. He doesn't like the call, but that's the way it's been today for both of these ball clubs. We are now officially halfway through this one. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and one stranded aboard. We're moving to the bottom half of inning number 5. Your score is the Texas Rangers 3 and the Brewers from Milwaukee 2. We'll be back in just a few. It is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll take this time out with our good friend Matt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Not sure where our friend Jake Berger doesn't have any sound. We'll have to rectify that for the next time we do the Rangers. Coming to bat will be the top of the order here. It'll be Josh Smith, Wyatt Langford, and Jock Peterson. Freddie Peralta back on for start his 5th inning of work as he delivers a fastball that misses outside for ball 1. Smith today officially 0 for 1. Is action in the Brewer bullpen as Peralta getting toward the end of his leash. There is a changeup taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Smith with the walk. He scored the 3rd run of the ball game. Came home on a balk by Peralta. As there was a fastball swung on it, is grounded past the glove of the second baseman Terang into center field. As that is going to be a leadoff single here for Josh Smith. And that'll bring up the left fielder in Wyatt Langford. It's not been an easy go for Peralta, as we mentioned. His first 2 innings, it was pretty smooth sailing. And then in the 3rd inning, he threw 29 pitches. He allowed a couple of runs. He'd walked a couple of batters. It was a real slog for him. And then he wasn't particularly sharp in the 4th, following it up with another 20-pitch inning. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count's 0-1 to Langford. Langford 0 for 1 today. Struck out looking his first time up, and he walked in the 3rd inning. Eventually was erased on a fielder's choice. There is a changeup taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2 on Langford. So no balls and 2 strikes. Peralta again holding at the belt. Kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball down. Oh, a nice stop there by Danny Jansen. He had to go into the left-handed batter's box. Keep that one in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Josh Smith. I don't know. He didn't have a great read on it, although I have to say it was a good stop by Jansen. But that being said, a bit lazy on his part. He tried to backhand the ball. He certainly put himself into a lot of trouble. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 2-2. He was very fortunate that ball did not squirt away. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Langford. As the right-hander Peralta getting that side again from his catcher. He works himself to the belt. And here's the 2-2. It is a fastball that misses down and in, and the count runs full to Langford. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander working himself to the belt. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. The runner goes down to second. The throw is not going to be in time. So that's going to be, almost had to strike him out, throw him out, but Josh Smith's going to pick up his 12th stolen base of the year. Langford down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Smith moves himself into scoring position on the stolen base, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Jock Peterson. Well, for Peterson, he's officially 0 for 2 today. He's bounced into a fielder's choice and struck out, but he did drive a run in on that fielder's choice. And he swings at a first pitch fastball, lifts it into the seats down the left field line. Count is quickly 0-1. I have to say, for afternoon baseball in Texas, really good crowd for the Rangers here for this one. Sometimes on the getaway games, there's not a lot of big crowds, but this one here for sure. The Rangers in the playoff hunt. I have to say it's good to see that the attendance is in pretty good capacity. Fastball swung on, popped up into shallow left field, coming in underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch as the left fielder Churio, and that is going to retire Peterson for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and it's going to leave it up to the first baseman and Jake Berger. Well, for Berger, he is 1 for 2 today, and the one hit was a big blast in the second inning that opened the scoring for the Rangers. Hit a solo shot off of Freddie Peralta. He's also popped out to first base. So 1 for 2 today for Berger. As he steps into the batter's box, ready to get the first offering from Peralta. Pat Murphy looking on here is a little delay in the action. And now we're ready to resume it here as Peralta checks the runner over at second. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Berger batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Peralta, who checks the runner at second. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Peralta kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on, driven into straightaway center field, going back onto the warning track. And this one's going to be gone off the batter's eye in straightaway center field. Jake Berger with his second home run of the game, as he's going to score Josh Smith ahead of him. And the Rangers have increased their lead to 5-2. So Smith scoring the 4th run, Berger coming around the second homer of the game for the big fella. He's got 16 now on the season. And it's just not the day here for Freddie Peralta. It is going to bring Josh Young to the plate. And that today has been very interesting. We've seen a lot of balls hit the straightaway center by both teams. First pitch, breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. That was on the 101st pitch of the game delivered by Peralta. As Berger has added to the Ranger lead. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Rangers looking to complete the sweep here against the Brewers. Brewers trying to salvage a victory. And the teams that'll be watching this one, the Mariners and the Astros, feeling the heat. Texas feeling pretty good about themselves. And here comes the pitch from Peralta. It's a breaking ball swung on, grounded foul just past the bag at third base. Count now goes to 1-2 on Young. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peralta ready to go again, ready to deliver his 105th pitch. Another fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count's 1-2. I would think that this is probably going to be his last batter of the game. Ironically, when the Rangers score 4 runs or more in their last 17 games, they have a perfect record of 13-0. Pitch on the way. There's another fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Young. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Peralta kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses in the left-handed batter's box. Count now goes to 2-2 on Young. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Peralta working himself into the set position. Here comes the offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses inside. It's now run full to Young. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and belted foul down the left field line. Reaching the seats, the count again remains at 3-2 to Young. Gracie Lynn said the stat is a testament on how good their pitching is. There's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. And the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 110 pitches now for Peralta, a new season high. This is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat to Young as it's on its way. It is another breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the battle is going to continue. So a marathon at-bat here for Josh Young as he's going to face pitch number 11 coming up. It's been a mix of curveballs, fastballs, and changeups. There's another fastball swung on, and this ball is grounded foul past the bag at third base. And again, the battle continues as it reigns at 3-2 to Young. So who's going to win it? We're about to find out. So he gets another baseball, does Peralta. Pitch number 113 on the way. And there is a changeup that is swung on and missed, and Young is in the books. Peralta wins that one, and one would expect that is going to be the end of the day for him. Well, they got 2 runs in the inning, did the Rangers, on a 2-run homer by Jake Berger. There were 2 hits, no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Your score is we are now through 5 complete innings. It is the Rangers 5 and the Brewers 2. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple of moments right after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Brewers and Rangers when we return.
Hello, everybody. And you know why we're here? Well, of course you do. You'd be nuts not to be here to watch Freddie call another game. Freddie, the king of kings on baseball commentary. You know what? Come to think of it, with Freddie, there's absolutely nothing hotter than listening to him broadcast. Not even the Reaper Triple X puckered butt squeezing hot sauce. We'll just give it a whirl here. All right, Freddie. Cheers. Holy cow, that may be a close second to you, Freddie. Still the hottest broadcast right now on YouTube. Peace out. Call a great game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the 6th inning, and coming to bat here for the Brewers is Sal Frelick, Caleb Durbin, and Blake Perkins. As they'll be facing Merrill Kelly for his 6th inning of work. Kelly has been certainly the more efficient of the 2 starters, as he has thrown 74 pitches, and 55 of them for strikes here through 5. And the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Frelick. Frelick struck out looking and flew to left in his 2 trips to the plate. It has been a big day for Jake Berger with his 2 bombs. As the right-hander Kelly delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul on the first base side. The count now goes to 0-2. I have to say I've really enjoyed watching Kelly pitch here today. But as our friend Gracie Lynn pointed out earlier in the chat, certainly wasn't expecting this type of performance from him versus Peralta. I would have maybe flipped it the other way around. Fastball swung on, grounded softly to second, fielded neatly by the second baseman Freeman, who throws to first. And Frelick is in the books on a ground out 4-3. So 1 Brewer up and 1 Brewer down here in the 6th. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Caleb Durbin. Well, for Durbin, he is 1 for 2 today. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also grounded back to the pitcher. So the right-hander, Kelly, rocking himself into the motion. He kicks and fires. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. I mentioned earlier about at one stretch how many first pitch strikes Kelly had. He has been absolutely impressive today. There was a breaking ball swung on, and it is hammered into the left field, and Durbin's got himself his 2nd hit of the ball game. A line drive over the head of the shortstop, so that's going to put a runner at first with 1 gone, and it's going to bring the center fielder Blake Perkins to the plate. Well, for Perkins, he is 1 for 2 today. He's got a single and 2 trips. Raised his season average up to 221. Batting from the left side here against the right-hander Kelly, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Perkins. We were saying earlier, going to be back in the saddle doing more games. Keep an eye on the channel tomorrow. I think we're leaning toward Pirates and Orioles. Some way I'd like to do a more competitive game. We're looking at the Cubs on Friday. But again, that'll be something we'll make a game time decision. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get to the Cubs. We have some other things that would get in the way. Certainly some Japanese baseball is on the docket as well. For the weekend, we'll be posting our schedule up for that. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes even to 1-1 on Perkins. This is the wrap-up of this series. For both of these teams, they get a day off tomorrow before they carry on Friday. Again, they throw over to first base, and again, getting back in time is the runner Durbin. For the Rangers, they head off to the Big Apple as they're going to be playing a series against the New York Mets. It'll be Jacob deGrom in his return to the Big Apple. He'll be going head-to-head against Jonah Tong, young rookie right-hander for the Mets. As Kelly delivers a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, the count now goes to 1-2 on Perkins. They are concerned with Durbin over at first base. He can run a little bit. As we mentioned before, he's got 15 swipes on the year. For the Brewers, well, they head home to face division rival, the St. Louis Cardinals. They'll send Quinn Priester to the mound as he'll face Palante. That game will go off at 8:10 Eastern, 7:10 Central. There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up on the third base side. It's playable in foul territory as the third baseman Young, and he's going to haul it in. And that is going to retire Perkins for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and that's going to leave it all up to the catcher and Danny Jansen. He used almost all the real estate he could possibly use, did Young there, to haul that one in. He almost ran out of space. Gracie Lynn says, you might be surprised about that game with the Pirates and the Orioles tomorrow. Yeah, I was looking at the pitching matchup, though, and I'm not so sure that I may do that. We'll have to wait and see. There's a first pitch breaking ball that Jansen takes down, and the count is 1-0. Guess we'll have to see what time we get up and how I feel in the morning, if we want to do that one or not. Just looking ahead there with regards, it's Oviedo going for the Pirates and Povich for the Orioles. There's a fastball that misses inside. The appeal down to the first base umpire, but Carlos Torres says that Jansen didn't go. It's now 2-0. And I think I want to redo on that one. I think on our replay, it sure looked like that Jansen had gone around. So 2 balls and no strikes. Not very often Kelly's fallen behind like this. There's a fastball that misses inside. It's now 3-0 to Danny Jansen. There is a left-hander up and throwing in the Ranger bullpen. Looks like it's former Brewer Hobie Milner. As the right-hander works himself to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. It's now 3-1 to Jansen. How is that for just desserts when you get to face one of your former teammates trailing in a ball game? He comes out to try to stick it to you. And here's the pitch from Kelly. It is a fastball swung on. It's pop foul into the seats. It's now 3-2 to Jansen. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Durbin's going to be on the move here once the pitch is delivered to the plate. 2 gone here in the 6th. As Kelly's got himself a new baseball ready to go at it again, and now he steps off the backside. I do think that Kelly's leash is going to be not much more past this. He's already at 88 pitches. I think his day might be done after this half inning. As we speculate a little further, there is a fastball swung on her, could be done after this batter, and it's going to be lined into left field for a base hit. Langford comes up, stopping at third is Durbin. The throw comes into second base. Durbin had thoughts about maybe going to the next base. So Jansen safe at first with a single. That's going to put runners at the corners. It's going to bring Joey Ortiz to the plate. Get a look at the replay of that one there. Jansen hook barreled it down. Good job by Langford to get over. And he thought about sort of pump fake throwing to third, and he ended up delivering it into second. Very interesting. And Durbin had visions of maybe going around. Well, it is going to bring out the pitching coach for the Rangers, as he's going to have a word with his right-hander here with runners on the corners. So unlike his counterpart, it's Mike Maddox, the brother of Greg Maddox, who is on the hill to talk to his reliever. We were talking earlier, the assistant pitching coach. I find it fascinating just how many coaches there are on these staffs now. David Bush is the assistant pitching coach with the Rangers. Of course, he was a former Toronto Blue Jay and a Milwaukee Brewer. You have all these different ones. They got bullpen catchers, they got catching coaches, they got you name it. Remember you go back 25 years ago, there were about 5 or 6 coaches on each staff, and that was it. Now you've got hitting coach, assistant hitting coach, assistant to the assistant. Too many coaches, way too many. Too many voices. Well, this is going to bring a pinch hitter to the plate. Joey Ortiz's day is done. It's going to bring Rhys Hoskins to the dish. So Hoskins on to pinch hit here for Ortiz. The first pitch coming is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Hoskins not getting the start tonight. He was off to a really good start at the beginning of the year, and then he got himself hurt out of the lineup for a while, and now he has found himself back in. But, of course, Andrew Vaughn, another opportunist, has played a lot of first base in his absence. There's a changeup that misses down. And of course, neither of those two are in the lineup today because it's Jake Bauers getting the start at first base. Hoskins, who's 32 years old, he was speculative of a lot of trade rumors. As it's 2-0 coming to the Brewer first baseman, there's a breaking ball missing down. It's now 3-0. Hoskins has 12 homers to go with 42 RBIs on the year. And he was hitting 240. He's hitting 241 entering the fray here today. So here comes the 3-0 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded through the 6-hole into left field, so he gets green light. And he's got himself an RBI single. That's going to bring home Durbin with the third run of the game. It's going to cut the lead to 5-3. Stopping at second is Jansen, and I think before even the runners reached base, Bruce Bochy was making his way out to the mound, as that is going to be the end of the day for the starter, Merrill Kelly. And that'll bring in Hobie Milner in to face his former team. While the Brewers still have a threat going here. Runners at first and second, 2 gone. The end of the day for Kelly. We got a pitching change, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments with all of that when we return right after this timeout from our good friend, Steve Rademacher, to keep you entertained.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
That's right, everybody. We got ourselves a pitching change. It is going to be the left-hander, Hobie Milner. The 34-year-old is making his 66th regular season appearance with the Texas Rangers in this one. He has spent time with the Milwaukee Brewers most of his career. He was also with the Tampa Bay Rays, Philadelphia Phillies as well. Milner, a sidewinding left-hander. He's worked 64 and a third innings this year. He's allowed 59 hits. He has walked 17 and struck out 54, and he's going to be called upon to face the top of the order in Bryce Terang. So Milner, the tall, lanky left-hander, on in relief of Merrill Kelly. So runner at second base is Danny Jansen. The runner at first is Rhys Hoskins. 2 gone here in the inning. And it is a 5-3 ball game, as the Brewers have clawed 1 run back. And the left-hander ready to deliver. And it is a fastball at 88 miles an hour taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Terang has a very interesting handle on the bat. It's a little bit thicker. It's almost a mushroom-type handle. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes. So 0-2 it is. Again, the lefty Milner working himself to the belt. And there's a breaking ball that misses in the right-handed batter's box. Count goes to 1-2 on Terang. Terang's had a pretty good day today. He's homered, he's singled, he's stolen a base, and he's reached on a fielder's choice. As there's a fastball swung on it, is grounded right back to the pitcher, Milner, who makes a play that says, "Look, Mom, what I found." And he's able to underhand flip it to first, and that is going to do it. So a ground out 1-3 to end the inning. A great play there by Milner defensively on a hop shot back to the mound by Terang, but that will do it here for the Brewers. They get a run back in the inning. 1 run on the benefit of 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we now move to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is the Rangers 5 and the Brew Crew 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this timeout. We've got ourselves a 5-3 ball game. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the sixth inning. We'll be back after the musical timeout to give you all the action after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to come to bat. It'll be Kyle Higashioka, Alejandro Osuna, and Cody Freeman. They do have a relief pitcher on the mound as the Brewers have gone to their bullpen. As Freddie Peralta's day is done, it is a right-hander, and it is Grant Anderson making his appearance here in this one. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into left center field. Underneath it, and with room to make the catch, is the center fielder, and that is Perkins, who will make the grab for one out. So Kyle Higashioka gone for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up Alejandro Osuna. Just a few notes on Anderson. He's making his 59th appearance of the year. He's worked 63 2/3 innings, striking out 67. He's got a 2-5 record on the year. And ironically, just as Milner is in to face the Brewers, Anderson is a former Texas Ranger. There was a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1 to Osuna. So no balls and one strike. Pitch on the way. Fastball up in the zone, swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. This is the most he's pitched in one season. The last couple of years, he bounced up and down between the Rangers and their AAA affiliate. But he is really locked in this year in Milwaukee. Whatever they saw, they've been able to figure it out. He's pitched really well. 94-mile-an-hour fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-2. It remains at 0-2. Amazing how that is sometimes. Somebody sees something in a pitcher and then make a couple of little tweaks, and the next thing you know, it's off to the races. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and two strikes. Bottom of the sixth inning, Rangers enjoying a 5-3 lead against the Brewers. And there's a fastball swung on, his tap softly over to second, fielded by Terang. He fires to first. Osuna gone on a ground out 4-3. He's out for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman in Cody Freeman. Well, for Freeman, he is 1 for 2. He struck out in the third and singled in the fourth. So 1 for 2 in this one. Freeman gets himself into the batter's box. And he's ready to face the right-hander Anderson. The pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander again kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's lined right to the glove of the third baseman, Durbin. And that is going to do it. Freeman hit the ball right on the screws, but right to the glove of the third baseman of the Brewers. And we are 2/3 of the way through this one. That was a quick inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We are now through 6. It is the Rangers 5 and the Brewers 3. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few, as we will be back for the back third of this one in just a couple moments.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to come to bat for the Brewers in inning number 7. That's Chourio, Yelich, and Bowers. We're keeping our eye to see if it is still going to be Hobie Milner on the hill or if Bruce Bochy has other things in mind. The Brewers today have out-hit the Rangers, and it is going to be a pitching change. We'll get you caught up on that. Rangers, 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Brewers, 3 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. And we do have some other substitutions. Ezekiel Duran is going to replace Cody Freeman at second base in that spot as well. And it is going to be Robert Garcia who is going to take over on the hill here, as Hobie Milner's day is done, getting the only batter that he faced. So Robert Garcia on in relief, as he is making his 64th appearance of the year, ready to face the right-handed hitting Jackson Chourio. And the first pitch he sees is a fastball swung on, popped up into shallow center field, moving in to his left and underneath it to make the catch is Michael Hellman, and that is going to retire Chourio with 1 pitch. So 1 pitch and 1 away, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Christian Yelich. Well, for Yelich, 0 for 3 today. He has struck out twice and flowed to center field. And he has not been a part of the offense per se here today, as there's a fastball that misses down and away. The count is 1-0. They have got their production from the top of the order and from the bottom of the order mostly. But everything in the middle here has been a little bit dicey for the Brewers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I was saying about Yelich earlier when he was with the Marlins organization and how they had the big 3 of Osuna, Yelich, and Stanton, and what only could have, would have been if that group of 3 were still together in Miami. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2 on Yelich. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty Garcia delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and this is fouled away. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line. 1-2 it remains to the designated hitter of the Brewers. After this game is done, we'll give you a full recap of this one. But no other games are currently going on, so not much to talk about outside of this one here. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Garcia delivers. There is a changeup that swung on and missed. And Yelich is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. 3rd time today he's gone down on strikes. And that is going to bring up the first baseman in Jake Bowers. Or is it? It looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. So it is going to be Andrew Vaughn. So Bowers' day is done. Vaughn stepping in here. So they're looking for some offense late in the game. And Andrew Vaughn is the guy. So the Higgy Ashioka has called time to go out and talk to his pitcher and probably go through a bit of a scouting report of what to expect from Andrew Vaughn. So Vaughn, the pinch hitter, he had spent part of the season in the White Sox organization, and he came across, and he's been very good for the Brewers. He has hit in a Milwaukee uniform .307 with 9 homers and 41 RBIs on the year. He's hitting .249. Takes a first pitch, breaking ball at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. On the season between the White Sox and the Brewers, hitting .249 with 14 homers and 60 runs driven in. When I think of Vaughn in some ways, there's a breaking ball that misses down, counts 1-1. He was considered the best bat in his draft class, the 3rd pick overall from Cal back in 2019. Following year, the Tigers took Spencer Torkelson 1 overall, and they have a lot of parallels, at least in my mind, in terms of the way they've been swinging the bat. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. Now moving to his left is Hellman. He's there to make the catch, and that's going to do it for the Brewers in their half of the 7th inning. And Vaughn is gone for out number 3. They go quietly and in order. There was no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. I was just going to finish off what I was saying. It looks like that in a lot of ways, Torkelson and Vaughn, very similar paths, college hitters that have struggled at the big league level, but maybe Vaughn is going to turn it around in Milwaukee. He's still young enough at 27. We'll have to wait and see. Well, it'll be the Rangers to come to bat when we come back for the bottom of the 7th inning in just a few. Your score is the Rangers with a 5-3 lead over the Brewers, looking to try to sweep Milwaukee in this set in Texas. We'll be right back in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters slated to come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 7. And it is a pitching change, as it is going to be Rob Zastrinski, the veteran lefty, the 33-year-old Edmonton, Alberta native out of Canada, taking over on the hill. He's enjoying a pretty good season here with the Brewers. He has appeared in 19 games. He delivers a first pitch fastball that misses outside to count as 1-0 to Hellman. He has appeared in 19 games, 17 innings pitched, 11 hits allowed, 3 runs all earned, walking 5 and striking out 17. As the pitch is a fastball swung on and hammered foul down the third baseline, the count goes to 1-1. Zastrinski began his big league career back in 2016 with the Cubs. He bounced around a little bit. After he spent time in the Cubs organization, he was with the Mets, the Angels, and he was with the Pirates, and now he's been a year and plus in the Milwaukee organization. As there's a breaking ball swung on, it is lifted into left field, coming hard and making the catch is Jackson Churio. So Hellman is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. He was also had a little bit of, I don't want to say luck, but he had good fortune with the Brewers last year as well, did Zastrinski, as he is getting a little bit long in the tooth and a little bit on in age. Most appearances he's ever had, this is his 20th appearance this year, came in 2023 with the Pirates. He had 21 appearances. There's a cutter that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Smith. Josh Smith, 1 for 2 today. He has scored 2 of the 5 Texas runs. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And the lefty, Zastrinski, ready to go as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses in the right-handed batter's box, and the count goes to 1-2. Always used to say the left-handers never really hit their peak until they seemed like they were in their mid-30s. So Zastrinski might have the best years ahead of him. Breaking ball in the dirt, the count now goes even at 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm sure if somebody called Jesse Orozco, I'm sure he'd pick up and want to come back and pitch. Long time Cincinnati Red. Here's the pitch. It is a changeup that is swung on and missed. And Smith in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the left fielder and Wyatt Langford. Boy, he really pulled the string on that, did Zastrinski. So this brings Langford to the plate. He is 0 for 2 today. He has struck out twice and walked on the in-between, as the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Trinsky ready to go again as he works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball that comes up and in on Langford. The count now goes to 2-0. Josh Peterson waiting his turn on deck. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that just misses upstairs. Count goes to 3-0 on Langford. Rangers have themselves a 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Brewers are starting to run out of outs. As the 3-0 on the way, it's a fastball swung on. So another green light, 3-0. Seen a couple of those today. That one's tapped foul over on the third base side. Personally, I think Langford almost swung at ball 4 there. And here comes the 3-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball down. It's going to be ball 4. So Langford's aboard with a 2-out walk. That's going to bring Jock Peterson to the plate. So Zatrinsky gets the first 2 outs rather efficiently, and then he walks the third man he faces. I wonder sometimes if that would be more planned than anything else. Certainly Peterson being the left-handed stick. Maybe take your chances with him, but instead we're going to get a pinch hitter. It is going to be Jonah Heim. So Heim coming in to pinch hit here for Peterson. I'll bring the catcher, Danny Jansen, out to the mound to have a word with his lefty. So Jonah Heim, the other catcher for the Rangers, he's appeared this season in this will be his 112th ball game. He's got a .217 batting average, down from his career numbers. Originally began his career in Oakland. Has been pretty much the mainstay backstop in Texas since the 2021 season. So the lefty Zatrinsky now facing the righty Heim. As Zatrinsky works himself to the set, checks the runner at first, now delivers. There's a center cut fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Heim is a switch hitter. So if the Pat Murphy was thinking about making a counter move, the question would have been moot, because he would just went to the other side of the dish. There's a fastball swung on. It's popped up over on the right side of the infield, but it's in foul territory. Underneath it is Vaughn. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it for the 3rd out of the inning. I don't know what Wyatt Langford was doing. He just stood there and watched the pop-up. I don't think he knew how many outs there were. That's going to do it here in the inning for the Rangers. No runs in the inning. There's no hits, no errors. There was a runner left aboard. We're moving to the top of the 8th inning. It is the Rangers with a 5-3 lead over the Brewers. We'll be back in just a little bit after this timeout. We thank you for listening to the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Brewers and Rangers. More when we come back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
That's right, everybody. That is our friend Matt Hollis, and you got to have an ace in the hole. We'll be right back after this musical timeout.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never.
Welcome back to everybody. The lefty Robert Garcia stayed in the ball game, and the first pitch he delivers to Sal Frelick is a fastball that misses way upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Frelick, Durbin, and Perkins to come to bat here in the top half of inning number 8. As the lefty Garcia delivers a fastball swung on. This is going to be lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. So Frelick aboard with a leadoff single, and that's going to bring up the third baseman in Caleb Durbin. And it's also going to bring Bruce Bochy out of the Texas dugout, as that means that's going to be the end of the day for the left-hander Garcia. So as Bochy makes his way to the mound, we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. It looks like it's going to be Sean Anderson who is coming in. And we are going to take a moment to reset ourselves. We'll get you right back here in just a couple of moments. Pitching change here for the Rangers, 5-3. They are clinging to a lead here in the top of inning number 8. We'll be right back after this from our good friend, Steve Rademacher.
Hello, everybody. Steve Rademacher coming back at you again. And during this pitching change, for a change of pace, let's open some baseball cards. We'll get through these quickly. 2023 Topps Big League. We have rookie card of Tyler Freeman to go along with a Matt Chapman, and why not a Jake Cronenworth? Shoot 'em, Jake! We do have a rookie card of Brett Beatty. That's pretty cool to go along with the uncommon Carlos Correa. Pretty common to me, but what do I know? Trey Mancini to go along with a rookie of Kodai Senga. Freddie, tell them about Kodai. And one of my favorites, Devin Williams of my Milwaukee Brewers. All right, looks like the pitcher's coming in. Freddie, you can take over now.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. It is going to be Caleb Durbin slated to come to bat here. We do have the pitching change. It'll be Sean Armstrong coming into the ball game. For Armstrong, he's going to be making his 63rd appearance of the year for the Rangers. He has been a big league veteran since the 2015 season when he began with the Cleveland organization. He's bounced around. He's been with Seattle. He's been with Baltimore. He's taken his act on the road to Tampa Bay. He's also been with Miami. And last season, he spent time with the Rays, the Cardinals, and the Cubs. So the right-hander on in relief. And the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Count is 0-1 to Durbin. Armstrong has a 4-3 record this season, posting a 2.51 ERA, which is significantly below his career ERA of 3.89. As he fires over to first base and diving back in time is Frelick. Frelick is looking for his 20th bag of the season to be stolen. He's got 19 right now. And Frelick can run. So here comes the pitch from Armstrong. On its way, it's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and now the count goes to 0-2 on Durbin. Durbin 2 for 3 today. He's got a couple of singles in his 3 trips. As he waits on the offering here from the right-hander, Durbin raised his average up to 256. Those 2 knocks today. Fastball swung on, grounded to short. They go to second for 1, back to first. That's going to be a double play. It's going to go in the books as a 6-4-3 variety. So Frelick gone for the first out, Durbin gone for the second, and that is going to bring up the center fielder in Blake Perkins. So a tailor-made double play. That hurts if you're a fan of the Brewers. Get a leadoff single, and you can't get them over. I mean, this is where we talk about the bunting where it's come out of the game. I know you're down by 2, but at least that would have potentially kept you out of a double play. Now that brings Blake Perkins to the plate, who's 1 for 3 this afternoon. And there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander Armstrong works himself to the belt. And he kicks and delivers. There is a fastball swung through and missed. Count is now 0-2. We were talking earlier in the ballgame today about the names of pitchers. Of course, the pitching coach's last name for the Brewers is Hook. So he come out to the mound, he's going to hook you. We talked about Outman and Bob Walk. Certainly Armstrong is a great name for a pitcher. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. Trying to think of other names historically that, besides Outman and Walk, Armstrong, that might be good pitchers' names, but that is certainly one of them right here. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oh, not sure what Perkins was looking for. That pitch is the second time today he's gone down on strikes, and it's certainly of the called variety. So no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Rangers 5 and the Brewers 3. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call of the bottom of the 8th inning when we return right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change, and the one-time starter and former KBO star Eric Fetty on in relief of Rob Zatrinsky. So Fetty coming in here in relief. It's the third team that he's been with during this year. He started the season with the St. Louis Cardinals. He had 20 starts in the Cardinal uniform, and then he went to the Braves. He did not have a successful tenure there, but now he has joined Milwaukee. It's his third appearance, and his coming out of the bullpen all 3 times. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Berger. So Eric Fetty on in relief. He began his career with the Washington Nationals. He pitched there till 2022, and then he went to the KBO. Breaking ball misses outside. Ended up getting himself a decent contract as he bounced back. He was with the White Sox at a good start with his bounce, or that part of his career, as that breaking ball misses outside. It's 3-0 to Berger. Berger looking to feast here on the Brewer pitching. He's already got 2 home runs here today, as the pitch is a fastball center cut, and the count goes to 3-1. I can see why the right-hander Fetty is pitching very delicately to the big fella. After he was dealt to the Cardinals in 2024, he started the season with the Cards this year, and then it's been Atlanta and Milwaukee. So Milwaukee looking at him out of the pen. There's a fastball that just misses down and away, and Berger's aboard with a leadoff walk here to start the 8th inning. That's going to bring up the third baseman in Josh Young. Well, for Young, he is 0 for 3 today. He has struck out twice and grounded to short, as he stands in on the right side. First pitch on the way. And there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Young. Fetty, I have to say, in his time with the Nationals, really couldn't get into another gear. There's a breaking ball missing it down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. There were a lot of, at one time, high expectations for him in the Washington organization. As a starter, he also had some time out of the pen. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 2-1. When you look at him, you can see why there's excitement. Then he has never been able to really put it together there at the big league level. Maybe a spot in the pen will work for him. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Young here. When I look at his walk totals, especially on this particular season here, he's walked 60 batters coming into this game. Fastball swung on, popped up over on the right side. Moving into foul territory now is Vaughn, and he's going to be there to make the catch. And so that's going to retire Young for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up the catcher in Kyle Higashioka. Just getting back a little bit here to Fetty. When you look at him entering the fray today, 60 walks in 130 innings. That's not going to play at the big league level. You're walking a guy almost every other inning. You look at a guy like Merrill Kelly today, who his first pitch strikes were unbelievable. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Higashioka, getting ahead in the count and being very economical for the Rangers, and certainly out-pitching his counterpart, Freddie Peralta. So here comes the 0-1 pitch as the right-hander holds set, now delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to third. It's bobbled and dropped by Durbin. And that is going to go in the books as an E5. That was definitely at least one out. Durbin fielded the ball, and he looked towards second base as if he wanted to take a shot to get Jake Berger, which probably he would have had a chance. And instead, he ended up playing basketball with it as he dribbled it to the ground a couple of times and unable to make the play anywhere. And so Higashioka on with a by E5, and that's going to bring up the right fielder in Alejandro Osuna. And that is as tough as it gets. Should have been out number 2. Now you got yourself in a bit more of a jackpot. And their first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. Counts 0-1. Osuna today is 1 for 3. As the right-hander holds to the set, now he kicks and delivers. There is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Osuna. Right-hander holds set at the belt. Now he delivers. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. And the right-hander delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is pop foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side, and the count remains at 1-2 to Osuna. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander working himself to the set position. The pitch on the way is a changeup that misses down and away. It now runs 3-2 to Osuna. Waiting his turn on deck is looking like it's going to be Rowdy Tellez. So the switch hitter for the Rangers, as he would look to pinch hit for Ezekiel Duran. So let's see what happens here. So here comes the 3-2 pitch to Osuna. It's on its way. A fastball swung on, and it's going to be lifted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats, and the count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Eric Fetty working himself to the belt, and the pitch on the way. Fastball inside. It's going to be ball 4. So a walk and an error and another walk has loaded the bases. And that is going to bring Rowdy Tellez to the plate. So a walk here, and it's going to bring the pitching coach Hook out to the mound. Have a word with Fetty. 5-3, the Rangers with the lead here with 1 out. They're trying to keep it close, are the Brewers. So Hook is on his way out to have a word with his defense here. As we're waiting for the defense to take shape. It looks like that when Ortiz, just as a defensive note, when Hoskins came in to pinch hit for Ortiz, it was Montessario that has taken over at shortstop. So that is where we're at there in that spot. So we've got that in that place. So we've got the runner over at third is Burger, Higashioka at second. And Rowdy Tellez takes a first pitch for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So Rowdy Tellez, the switch hitting pinch hitter here for the Rangers. And there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. It's now 0-2, so no balls and 2 strikes. Tellez does have 5 career grand slams to his name. As the pitch is a changeup that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2 to Tellez. So a potential turning point in this one here. Again, the right-hander Fetty holds set. Now he delivers. Fastball swung on, chopped slowly over to second. There's only going to be one play, and they're going to throw it Tellez at first. It's a ground out 4-3, but he's going to get himself an RBI, a much-needed run. Jake Burger is going to come in to score. That'll be the 6th of the ball game for the Rangers. Higashioka advances to third, Asuna over to second. And gone for the second out is Tellez on that ground out. But it is now a 6-3 lead for the Rangers, and that is going to bring up the center fielder in Michael Hellman. So Tellez gets a round of high fives in the dugout. A nice job by him. There's some other action underway around Major League Baseball. We'll get you caught up on all that at the end of the day here. First pitch, breaking ball, taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 to Hellman. So no balls and 1 strike. And there is a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the left side. Over underneath it is Montessario. And he's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it. Hellman's going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Rangers get themselves a run in the inning. We'll have to take a look. I think that was an unearned run, and that is exactly what it was. 1 run here on the benefit of no hits. There was an error, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your scores were now moving to the top of the 9th inning. It is the Rangers 6 and the Brewers 3. Stay with us, everybody. We're either going to see a pretty cool comeback for the Brewers, or the Rangers are going to take care of business and win it out right here. We'll be right back in just a few right after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Everybody, it is our friend Matt Hollis. We appreciate your support. We'll be back here in about 30 seconds with all the action. Top of the ninth inning, right around the corner. Welcome back, everybody. Sean Armstrong still stays in the ball game, and he's going to be facing Danny Jansen. It'll be Dylan Moore replacing Rowdy Tellez at second base. And there is a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and Jansen's in the hole at 0-1. Jansen today is officially 2 for 3. Has a couple of singles today. He has also struck out as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes even to 1-1 on Jansen. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The righty delivers. There's a fastball swung on, and that is fouled away down the right field line. There is action up in the bullpen. Yes, it is Maton up and throwing. Curious to see at what point they would bring him in, if even at all. It is slated to be Monasterio on deck. Fastball swung on and missed, and Jansen is gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That'll bring up the shortstop in Monasterio. Or is it? Well, they're going to pinch hit Monasterio. It's going to be Isaac Collins. So Collins is coming up to bat here to pinch hit as they've made the announcement. Kind of surprised in a little ways that he didn't get the nod as the starter in this one. So Higashioka gone out to talk to his pitcher. Obviously, they want to go over the scouting report in this one. That's one thing that you see with the outfielders. Sometimes the outfielders will pull a little piece of paper out of their back pocket and they'll look to see when a pinch hitter comes in the game. I wonder why the catchers don't have one as well. As now the pitching coach, Mike Maddox, has come out to join the conference on the mound. So a quick day for Andrew Monasterio, not letting him swing the bat. So Maddox talking it over with his right-hander and his catcher. As walking off the mound as Maddox says this conference is over. So Armstrong has got his instructions. 1 gone here in the top of the 9th inning. It is Isaac Collins into pinch hit for Monasterio. Brewers are running out of outs here as they've got only 2 left to play with. And as the right-hander ready to go, Armstrong kicks and delivers. There is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander working out of the set. There's a fastball that misses way upstairs. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander Armstrong working at the belt, kicks and delivers. Fastball misses way outside. It's now 2-1. They do have some room to play with here because they've got to get a couple of runners on base to the Brewers. You certainly don't want to walk the batter here. Make them put the ball in play. Here's the pitch. Center cut fastball taken for a called strike. That pitch looked like it was going inside the way Collins reacted, and it looked like it had a little bit of backdoor run across the dish. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is. Or sorry, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch is a fastball swung on and lifted foul. Count remains at 2s. Get a little ahead of ourselves here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Isaac Collins. Rangers trying to complete the sweep of the Brewers to keep the pressure on the Astros and the Mariners. Fastball misses upstairs. The count is 3-2. And it's, you look at the Rangers, they look like a loose bunch because I don't think anybody is expecting them to be here at this point. It looks like they're having a whole lot of fun with approximately 15 games left in the season after this one. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the third base line. Count remains at 3-2. I think if you're the Brewers, you're probably pretty relaxed because they still got the best record in baseball. The only thing that is away from them or eluding them right now is that 90th win. Here's the pitch. Fastball way outside, goes all the way to the backstop, and it's going to be a one-out walk issued here to Collins. So Collins is aboard, and that's going to bring Bruce Bochy out of the dugout. So he has seen enough from his right-hander. And it does look like he is going to go to Maton here. So we're going to have ourselves yet another pitching change. We'll be back and get you all the specs on that in just a couple moments. We'll give you a timeout with our good friend Steve, who is a resident Milwaukee Brewer fan.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 32-year-old right-hander Phil Maton who is coming into the ball game. Maton, who is going to be making his 56th appearance for the season, although Maton had started the season with the St. Louis Cardinals organization. He is now here in Texas. He has bounced around with a lot of teams over the years. He began his career in a San Diego Padre uniform, and then he ended up with the Cleveland Ball Club back in 2019. And then in 2020, he was still with the Cleveland Club, and then he was with Cleveland and Houston in 21. Spent a couple of years in Houston. In 24, he spent time with Tampa Bay and the Mets. And then he moved on. He began the year this year with the Cardinals, and now he's in Texas. So he is making his 16th appearance in a Rangers uniform. He has not had as good a time in Texas as he did with St. Louis. And the first pitch from Maton is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and fouled into the feet of Terang, and the count is quickly 0-1. Terang today has reached base 3 times. He's technically 2 for 4. He has singled, he's homered, he's reached on a fielder's choice, and he's grounded out. So 2 for 4 for Terang. As the right-hander works himself to the set position, and here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul behind home plate. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So again, the right-hander ready to go as he works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And Terang is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to Jackson Chourio. So Chourio coming to bat here with 2 gone as the Brewers find themselves down to their final out. For Chourio, well, he's 1 for 4 today. He had homered back in the first inning. He's also grounded out and flown out to center twice. Some of the fans are starting to stand in Texas as they're looking to get the final out here. The first pitch is a fastball swung through and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Chourio. do thank everybody for joining us here today. Don't forget to bookmark the channel, as we will be back on again tomorrow. Orioles and the Pirates. There's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count runs even to 1-1. When this game is completed or officially finished, as the runner Collins takes second base, not sure if they'll score a stolen base or defensive indifference. Guess we'll have to wait and see. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and now the Brewers are down to their final strike. Now all the fans in the lower bowl are seemingly on their feet, trying to bring this one home for the Rangers. Rangers looking to get their 77th win, keeping the screws turned on here to the Mariners and the Houston Astros in the American League West. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses way upstairs, and the count goes to 2-2 on Chourio. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander getting the sign. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, popped up, and it's going to go foul down the right field line. It'll reach the seats, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chourio. Christian Yelich hoping to get a chance to come to bat. Chourio's got to find a way to get on base. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses inside, and the count runs full to Chourio. Certainly don't want to bring Yelich to the plate. He's not had a very good day today, but you know that he could wake up at any time. And so here comes the pitch from Maton. And the pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to get looped. Oh, what a play by the first baseman, Berger. Have a day, Berger. Hits 2 home runs, and he makes a spectacular over-the-shoulder catch to end the ball game. And the Rangers are going to cruise to victory here. 6-3, your final score. No runs in the inning. There was no hits. There was no errors, but there was a runner left aboard. Your final score is the Texas Rangers 6 and the Milwaukee Brewers 3. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to wrap it up for you here in just a couple of moments when we come back right after this from our friend Eric.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and this game here is the first and only final so far of the day, as the Rangers have knocked off the Brewers 6-3. 6 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Texas Ball Club, 3-11-1 for the Brew Crew. The win goes to Merrill Kelly. He goes to 12-7 on the year. Freddie Peralta drops to 6-6. Phil Maton gets his 4th save for the Rangers. The scoring as it went down here, well, the Brewers got things going in inning number 1. Back-to-back homers to lead off the game by Bryce Terang and Jackson Chourio. 2 solo shots gave the Brewers an early 2-0 lead. Rangers responded in their half of the second inning. A leadoff solo shot off the bat of Jake Berger that cut the lead to 2-1. In the third inning, that was where Freddie Peralta really fell apart. He threw 29 pitches. With 1 out, it was a single by Michael Hellman. Then back-to-back walks to Josh Smith and Wyatt Langford loaded the bases. And then it was a RBI single, it was a fielder's choice off the bat of Jock Peterson to bring home the second run to tie it. And then a balk by Freddie Peralta brought home the third run, or the second run of the inning, from Josh Smith, was able to score. And that made the scoreline at that point 3-2 for the Rangers. Rangers added to their lead in the 5th inning. A leadoff single by Josh Smith, and with 2 out, Berger smacked his second homer of the game, a 2-run shot to make the scoreline at that point 5-2. The Brewers were able to get one back in the 6th inning with 1 out. It was Caleb Durbin with a 1-out single. with 2 out. Danny Jansen singled, and then Rhys Hoskins pinch hitting for Joey Ortiz singled to bring home Durbin. That cut the lead to 5-3. The Rangers added one more in the 8th inning to make their lead comfortable. A leadoff walk to Berger, and after a Josh Young pop-out, Kyle Higashioka reached on an error, a walk to Alejandro Osuna, and an RBI ground out off the batter Rowdy Tellez brought home Berger with the 6th run of the game. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we're going to sign off for this one here. Top of the 7th inning in Sacramento, the Athletics have a 4-3 lead over the Red Sox. The Giants are behind the Diamondbacks 5-0 in San Francisco. Those San Francisco Giant fans must be losing their minds. Giants are being one hit so far through the 6 innings there. And the Angels are enjoying a 3-1 lead over the Twins. That game is in Los Angeles. All the other games are later starts. And that is going to do it for us here today. Once again, everybody, it's been the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody who has popped in today to listen to our game. The final again is the Rangers 6 and the Brewers 3. Come on back again tomorrow for all the action.